We're live. Hey, Facebook. It's Laurie Forster, the wine coach, and it's happy hour. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 o'clock here in Maryland, and I have a very special guest with me. I'm so excited to sip along with Pam Long, who is an amazing photographer. Pam Long Photography is the name of your business, and she's over in Ellicott City, correct?
Yep, the heart of Ellicott City, here on Main Street.
Love that town. I'm here on the Eastern Shore of Maryland in Easton. Let us know where you guys are at. Chat it in the chat window. We love to know where you're at. What are you sipping? If you're watching the recording, we still want to know. Put it in the chat window and then use that for any questions you have for me or Pam along the way. We're just going to consider this a little happy hour between the two of us, but hopefully you're going to pick up some fun tips. So to start, they know we're sipping wine, but let's tell them what we're sipping. Pam, you have an amazing selection and an amazing vessel that you're sipping out of. So why don't you show us both?
So rather than using my branded wine glasses, I thought I would class it up a little. And I'm drinking from a lens, no, an insulated.
It looks like a photography lens, a camera lens, like a super expensive camera lens. And what are you putting in there?
It's delicious. You can pronounce it. I can't.
I believe you have the Pigaday Rosé from Provence.
Yes.
One of my faves. I'm so glad you have that. I'm about rosé all day. Today I did not.
Okay.
But what I love about rosé from Provence is that it's dry and crisp. If you were to close your eyes, you'd almost think it's a white wine.
Yes.
But it just has that little extra oomph of flavor. Is
Yes.
that like your go-to for summer sipping?
I'm more of a Sauvignon Blanc.
Nice.
But I do like the rosé, and the wine bin is up the street from us, as you know. So they are my go-to place for everything that way. But I went up there and I told them I was going to be live with you. I was like, so they picked out a great white, rosé, and a red.
Perfect. All right. I'm glad you brought the rosé to the table. Susan from the Jersey Shore says greetings to us. Welcome, Susan. So glad you're here. Everybody, get your cocktails ready. Let us know where you're zooming in from, where you're Facebook living from. I'm on Zoom so much, probably you too, that I just feel like everything's Zoom these days.
Yes.
I went white tonight. I went with, it's something I actually opened up last night, but I got to finish this within a couple of days. It's the Broadbent Gruner Veltliner. Broadbent is an amazing importer of wines. And they also make some of their own wines. This is one of their own wine selections they make with Marcus Huber out of Austria. And Gruner Veltliner, that's the name of the white grape that they make the wine out of, is the most grown white grape in Austria. It's one of my favorites. It's kind of hard to say, kind of just like you were saying with the Pigaday. But in Europe, they love their Gruner Veltliner. They just call it groovy. So I'm always trying to turn people on to groovy. I absolutely love the label, and I love the sentiment behind it because our Bartholomew Broadbent, who runs this company now, this is one, I believe it's one of his grandkids' pictures that they drew, this picture of a flower, and now it's on the label. I love that tie-in. You probably also noticed I have a screw cap. You had, a real cork, but you know what? It's not social suicide. And this is, look at my bottle. Your eyes are not deceiving you. This is actually a liter rather than 750 milliliters like your bottle. So I actually get a little more bang for my buck in this one. So yeah, that lasts me a couple of days at least, maybe more. But one of my favorite, it's crisp. It's got green apple, lemon, lime, and peaches, just all that wonderful citrus fruit, crisp acidity, all stainless steel. So none of that oak aging you see on some white wine. So it's a great summer seafood wine, as is your rosé as well. It's great with seafood, but also cheese, charcuterie. Some nights when it's hot, now we're being blessed with this really beautiful weather. You don't want to cook, you just want to make a little antipasto or a cheese plate. Both of these would be perfect for that. So
yeah, I wrote it down. I'm looking forward to trying that.
Yeah, guys, let us know what you're sipping. But Pam, I'm so excited you're joining me. And you're going to be joining me again October 16th for the Uncorked virtual conference for women. It's going to be a half day to focus on you, your business, your career, your personal life. whatever you want to take to the next level, we're going to give you some tools to make this your best vintage yet. And we're so thrilled to have Pam as our woman of worth, who we think is just so inspiring what you've done, certainly over the course of the pandemic, but even what you went through with some of the floods in Ellicott City. So tell people just a little bit about your business and kind of, you don't have to, go into all the details, but how you've had to sort of reinvent yourself through these challenges you had to go through.
Sure. First of all, thanks for having me, Laurie. It's a huge honor, and I appreciate that. So my studio is located on Main Street in historic Ellicott City. Awesome place, phenomenal community. And when you say woman of worth and inspiring, I feel like I'm surrounded by those people all the time. So I appreciate you saying that, but I look at my circle of friends and the colleagues, and I'm like, I'm nothing compared to the inspiration around us. So thank you. That's very nice of you. So I moved here 9 years ago, over 9.5 years ago. In 2016, we had a horrific, devastating flood, unfortunately a deadly flood, and it just ravaged the street. It was a flash flood. Store windows were bashed through with cars. I think there were like 180 cars down in the river. And it was saddening. It was disheartening. It was really surreal. And it took several months to rebuild and reopen the street. But the community was strong prior to. And then going through all this together, it was even more so. And we had people from around the world donating money, sending cleaning supplies. It was in the heat of summer, and people are in full gear, long sleeves, jeans, and some of them in Tyvek suits. Because it was gross. I mean, you're going inside these buildings and you're mucking out, and people just came from all over the place. And it was truly a wonderful sight to see everybody pull through. And it was one of those 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 100 floods. It would never happen again. And 22 months later, it happened again.
I remember.
And, we were again devastated. We weren't. It was bad enough the first time, but you knew it would never happen again in your lifetime. And then it happened again. Unfortunately, we had a little practice the first time, so the second time around, things moved a little more quickly. In my type of business, I'm a service-oriented business, of course, and I can't photograph 500 headshots in the same hour. So it took several months, a little over a year the first time around to make up the lost income, a little shorter the second time around. But through both of those, again, we saw not only the tremendous people who work and shop and own places down here come together, but we saw how large our community was, and really the outreach was phenomenal. So after the 16 flood and seeing all the monies that were coming into the Ellicott City Partnership to spread around, I thought, here are all these people donating money, but literally our town was chain linked. I mean, you could not go inside without some kind of pass, and we had limited hours. I thought, I need to let these people know. Look at me.
It's okay. It's emotional. And by the way, our hearts go out to people who are dealing with this right now in the Gulf or in the North. I'm sure you're connecting with, what they're feeling, and
breaks my heart to see that. But there were so many people helping. I wanted to give them a look inside, and I wanted to see the people, because we know historic towns are beautiful for their charm and the historic value, but to me, it's all about the people, and I wanted to show everybody who these people were. So I started doing lives and to introduce people and show everybody where the monies were going and where their help and their prayers were going. Then 2018 happened again, and no sooner we get back on the feet again than 22 months later, COVID shut down. So third time is not always the charm. So within 4 years, we've been shut down, 3 times.
Wow.
But the COVID shutdown was a little different because we had nothing to clean up, and we were shut down and you could not work. I wasn't even allowed to photograph people outside with my long lens where, my clients could be 20 feet away. So
wow.
I had so many things on the back burner that I was, waiting, a new website, a new product guide, that it allowed me that time to do that. And get a little bit more detailed with the back end. It
Yeah.
also allowed me, because after the 16 flood, I couldn't hire anybody back again. And with the COVID shutdown, like I know the energy, the mental and emotional energy and physical energy it takes to reopen and run like crazy to get caught up.
Right.
And I thought, I can't afford to hire someone right now because it's third time check, but I can't afford not to. So I hired someone last year, phenomenal. I used to say, I wish I could duplicate myself. I wish I could duplicate her. She's awesome.
Oh, nice.
That's been really helpful. And we continue having a great time with our clients. We're more high-end boutique style, so we really hold hands through the first phone call, and then we meet in person, whether I go to their home and help them pick out outfits, or we meet in the studio and design their session. Photoshop's wonderful, and then we get together and they see everything on the big screen and make their selections.
Yeah, so you're if you're just joining us, I'm Laurie Forster, the wine coach, and we're here with Pam Long of Pam Long Photography. She's in Ellicott City. I'm in Easton, Maryland. We're talking about, basically your story that you tell us is about resilience, because you were thrown a flood and a pandemic, and each time you're able to build back and maybe even kind of reinvent or shift your focus. I'm trying not to use the word pivot, right? Because he just got so overused. But I think that's inspiring to people. And that's one of the reasons why I think you're such a great addition to the Uncorked virtual conference in October on the 16th. Because I think as women, we've seen over this last, especially the last 2 years, we all, there's a lot going on and it's heavy and it's hard, but we still want to move forward in our personal life, in our businesses, in our careers, and having other women, like you were saying, your community, having that community of women to support you. That's what I'm hoping that we're going to bring all the women that join us on the 16th. And so I love that, Susan was saying in the comment thread that, there are parts of Hershey, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey that are underwater right now. And certainly those people, are going to have, an experience similar to what you explained. But now, that you have been able to sort of make that turnaround post-pandemic, you're focusing on headshots, correct?
Right. I really have three main areas I focus on. In the business world, it's headshots, branding, and product photography.
Okay.
And I love that. Branding has really become a very popular genre for photography, because if you're an influencer, if you own a business, to be able to get together with a photographer and over a half day or a full day, and we plan everything out, we have the outfits, and I get to learn what they really do, and then we can help tell the story, and we get the branding shots all day, and then they have something to drip out in their social media.
I love that.
Over several months, professional.
Yeah. And I love, Pilar Steinborn, who's another one of our featured women that's going to be part of the conference. She did live with me last week, and she's a celebrity stylist, but of course celebrities, but she works with people like me too. But I think what's so important is people think like, oh, they're just like all about looks, or it's all about being like too glam. But I love your work and the work that Pilar does, because it's more about bringing your personality out,
Yes.
that authentic personality, rather than like the 80s glamour shots, the thing that we all did back in the day. That's like, that doesn't even look like you. It should look like you. It should, your brand should be a reflection of your personality and what you're trying to bring to the world. So I do love and see that in your work. And I also saw, because we both just dropped daughters off at college, that senior portraits is a big part of what you do too.
Yes, families and seniors, and I love the seniors. Every class, every year, I just get this renewed, okay, the world is going to be okay. Because these kids, you talk about us multitasking, getting so much done in the day. These kids at a young age, they're on the ball.
I know.
And it's great. Same thing. We have consultation. I get to know about them, what their interests are, what their hobbies, and we just tell their story. And it allows me to capture a glimpse of their senior life or their high school life. Love it. Love it.
That.
And then I get to meet the families, and it's it's nice. It's nice for them to be able to look back. There's still seniors I photographed 10, 12 years ago who keep in touch. In fact, I'm photographing one of their weddings. I don't photograph weddings anymore. I don't market it, but there are a select few if they call, or I'm photographing one of my seniors next year who got married, never met her fiance, but her mom said, you know what? He fell in love with her online because of your senior pictures, and they want you, so it's nice that they keep in touch, whether it's social media or texting, and it's great to see these kids maneuver through life in a positive. Even this past class, when I don't know on the Eastern Shore, everything was shut down for our entire senior year as far as activities. But parents talk about communities. That the parent community at our high school and the neighboring high schools still had activities, the senior sunrise service, Valentine, and everything was socially distanced, masked, and it was great.
Oh, that's great. We did a parent-sponsored prom for my daughter's school.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, let's remind them what we're sipping in between our amazing conversation. I have the Broadbent Gruner Veltliner from Austria, from Lower Austria, and Pam there has an amazing Picadet Rosé from Provence.
Picadet. I can say Picadet. They need phonetically. They need to put the phonetic.
There's some French out there that probably correct my pronunciation, but hey, if it's close and it tastes great, don't sweat it, people. Wine doesn't need to be so serious and nerve-wracking. But I'll tell you what, you were saying about our seniors, they're very photo savvy, right? Because they're all about the Snapchat and the Instagram and looking great. But we grew up with like Polaroids and cameras you had to wait for, it to be developed to even know if you had a good photo. I was wondering, don't give us away all your secrets, but maybe you can give us a couple secrets about looking great on camera, whether it's on this Zoom sort of, video chat world, or it's taking photos. Anything you think like are really practical, easy things that people could do to look
better?
Awesome.
Absolutely. I think the number one thing, Laurie, in my opinion, is lighting. It's all about the lighting. Oftentimes, and through Zoom, I realize this even more. It could be a group of people on the Zoom, or you're just Zooming with one person. And I found that many people's desks at home have a window behind them. So you just see the silhouette. You see the silhouette.
Right.
You almost see the mouth moving up and down. So, and that's the same way with taking selfies or any type of picture like that, because you want the light. Light is our friend.
Yes.
We want the light coming at us on the selfies, or if now the harsh sunlight is not our friend, because that shows everything multiplied. But even if you go underneath an awning where there's sunlight coming in, like the soft shade, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
So you want the light straight on. I told you one of my little things is like always want the camera a little bit above, and you should be kind of want your camera close to eye level. So right now I have my laptop on a box.
Yes.
It's actually a wine box, but it's the perfect height. And so that it's not, you're not like, ever take a picture of yourself from down below. No one looks good that way. It's Jabba the Hutt situation. It's
exactly
better. Even if you don't have a double chin, you're going to look like you do if you're trying to do things from above.
Yes. This was me when I first, hold on. Sorry. That was pretty, I'm sure. This was me. I'm like, okay, no, that's not good. This isn't much better, just because we're all very critical of how we look, but it sure is better when it's raised up.
Absolutely. So, put it on a couple of books, put it on a box. That definitely works too.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I agree. Lighting is almost, like 90% of it, because with bad lighting or lighting coming in from the side, all those things can have a lot of effect.
Definitely. One of the other things with selfies or even groupies is whoever's at the edge of the picture is going to be elongated widthwise.
Okay.
That's the way the cameras, the lenses are. So selfie stick is always good, so everybody can be the same proportion. Mm-hmm. Or if you're doing group picture, everybody standing, same thing. The two people at the end are always a little stretched. So I always say get more of the picture, get a lot of negative space on either side, then you can always crop it down.
Okay.
rather than throwing the 2 on the end, under the box.
Because everyone's usually fighting to not be on the end because we all kind of know that that's going to be the thing, right?
Exactly.
That's so perfect. And yeah, my daughter is totally mortified when I break out my selfie stick, but you know what? It's embarrassing, but the pictures are so worth it. So I'm not going to be embarrassed because the pictures
She will
are.
thank you later.
She will thank you later. Awesome.
Yeah.
This is super fun. Everybody, I hope you are sipping something great at home. I hope we gave you a couple good wine sips. We still have summer till September 21st. So we've got days, right? We still have days of summer to enjoy. And these are 2 great summer selections of Rosé from Provence, a Gruner Veltliner from Austria. Enjoy them. Enjoy your summer days. Hopefully your photos look a little bit better with Pam's tips. But on October 16th, there's a virtual half-day conference called Uncorked. I'll be there. Pam will be joining me, Pilar Steinborn. We're going to be talking about making this next year your best vintage ever. Yeah, we've been through it, but you know what? We can, as women, come back around. We're going to share our tips for resilience, for pivoting, for reinventing, for moving yourself forward. And then if you get a VIP ticket, you're going to get 2 bottles of wine. And at the end of the day, we're going to have a really cool wine tasting with Willamette Valley Vineyards. Christine Claire, who runs the vineyard, she actually started out selling friendship bracelets in the tasting room. And now she is running the winery and will take over when the owner retires. So that's an amazing story from start to finish. The website is uncorked.com. It's on October 16th, which happens to be, I think, Global Champagne Day as well.
Nice timing there, Laurie.
One of the 2 wines we're drinking is a bubbly, so there's no bubbles going to be lost on that day. And Pam, thank you so much for joining me. This was really fun. I'm out of wine, so I guess it's time to make dinner and refill. But if people want to connect with your business, where can they go?
So website is, I'll start with the email. Email is hello@pamlongphotography.com. Facebook is Pam Long Photography. Instagram is @PamLongPhoto. But shoot me an email. We'll connect. I love finding out. You mentioned earlier, Laurie, as far as when people are taking pictures, they kind of feel like it's all about them. But especially with the branding, it's really about them showing potential clients what they can do for that client. Yes. So, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want about me. But it's not about you. It's about you're going to help your client. You're solving a problem, a challenge that your client's having because they see what you can do. So I'm really excited about seeing you on the 16th.
Yes, I can't wait. And also, think about it too. LinkedIn, you want your LinkedIn photo to look good. Maybe your job, looking for the next job upgrade or the next promotion. It's that professional version. So thank you, Pam at longphotography.com. And thank you for joining me. I can't wait to see you on October 16th as well. And cheers, Pam. Cheers to everyone out there. Let us know your comments in the window. We want to hear from you. All right, guys, have a great Friday, Junior, or Thursday. And have a great holiday weekend, everybody.
All right. Thank you.